All right. So I'm going to demo a couple of modules today. One of them is called public repo sharing. And what this does is it allows you to put files in your file repository and then share them out with a public link. So by default, anything that you put in the file repository can only be accessed by people who have permissions on the project and have file repository access. So you wouldn't be able to share any of that. And it also doesn't have a link. So they have to go into the file repository and click on it, even if they do have access to download it. So this would allow you to have, so like if you had for example, if you had a consent form that was part of your study and you wanted to allow people to download it instead of having to send it to them manually, you could upload it into your file repository and use this public repo sharing module to generate a public link that they can then you can put that in your survey or your alert notification thing, and then they can click on that and then automatically download that file. It's pretty easy. So let me go to my project here and we'll go to external modules, and I've already enabled it. It doesn't take anything to configure. The only thing that it wants in the configuration is what's called SALT, and that's an encryption term. Basically, you're just providing some random letters and numbers to help with the encryption of the link that it generates. So you can just put in whatever you want in here, and then you just save that. So that's it. And then you would take
Hey, Manny,
yes.
Is there a minimum to what you
No,
put in?
no, I don't think so. Okay. All it says here is just configure a secret SALT. So it didn't complain when I put just, a couple of letters in there. I think it just wants any value.
Okay. I just wondered.
Mm-hmm. So once you have that set up, then you would go to your file repository, and I've just put the REDCap boilerplate here, and you would just treat it like you would normally do with the file repository. You would just upload a file, upload new file here. What this does, this public repo sharing, is it gives you this little link icon. So if I click on this is the link that it gives me for the project. So if I select that, now it's going to give me the option to download this document. So you would just copy this link to the clipboard and you would pop it in your survey or whatever you're going to use it for to give people access to it. And it allows them to download a copy of it. Fairly simple. Anybody have any questions about that one?
So I think if I understand this correctly, it would allow researchers like that area, those user files, that's an area you can put documents related to your project, but they are not related to any particular participant. So like you have in their boilerplate, but you could put SOPs, whatever you want. And if you wanted to provide access to a study monitor and yet not give them access to REDCap, have to create an account and all that, you could simply, send them those links or post it in an email or do whatever.
Right.
So I think that's really great.
You could also use it for, like, if you had an instrument that had, your consent text, and, it's kind of like a file manager, file upload manager, where you could put the file for people to download. And instead of going to some third-party file manager, you could do it natively in REDCap and just take this link and put it in your field and then they can click on it. You know, you could just have a link that says, click here to download, you know, consent form for your records, and they could click on it and then make it accessible to them. Because like if I put this in the chat, anybody would be able to download this document. So that's the nice thing, is you wouldn't have to even have access to the project. It just automatically creates an encrypted file for you to download.